We begin with the major international development where tensions in the Middle East remain high, but military escalations between the United States and Iran has been temporarily paused. US President Donald Trump has announced an extension of the ceasefire with Iran. But what makes this development significant is that there is no fixed deadline for negotiations, raising both hopes of diplomacy and concerns over prolonged uncertainty. According to the White House, this ceasefire extension comes as part of what officials are calling a dual-track strategy, meaning the United States is simultaneously pausing active military strikes while continuing intense economic and maritime pressure on Tehran. White House press secretary confirmed that while combat operations have been paused, the broader pressure campaigns on Iran remains fully active. She stated that although there is a ceasefire in terms of military action, economic and naval pressures is continuing without any reduction. This includes what the administration refers to as an ongoing naval blockade, which targets Iranian shipping routes and oil transportation networks in the region. The White House has argued that this blockade is already having a severe impact on Iran's economy, claiming that Iran is losing nearly $500 million every day due to restricted oil movement and disrupted trade routes. Official says that the objective is to increase economic pressure while keeping diplomatic channels open, but without committing to any timeline for negotiation. Importantly, the Trump administration has made it clear that there is no fixed deadlines for talks with Iran, and that any decisions regarding the durations of the ceasefire and blockade will be determined by the president himself. According to the White House, the timing of future negotiations will depend entirely on what they describe as the best interest of the United States and its citizens. At the same time, Washington has raised concerns over internal political divisions within Iran. Officials say that there is a clear split between what they call moderate and hardline factions inside the Iranian leadership, and this internal disagreement is making negotiations more complicated. The US administration believes that the Iran has not yet presented a unified position, which is delaying meaningful diplomatic progress. White House officials also claim that Iran's public statement differs significantly from private communications, suggesting inconsistency in Tehran's negotiating stance. They further said that the US negotiators have already engaged with Iranian counterparts, but uncertainty still remains over who exactly hold decisions-making authorities inside Iran's political structure. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is maintaining a strong public posture, insisting that the United States holds a strategic advantage in the ongoing situation. Officials say that the Iran is currently in a weakened position, both economically and politically, due to sanctions and maritime restrictions. They also emphasize that the US demands and red lines have been clearly communicated, and that there is no confusion about Washington's expectations in any future agreement. However, despite this firm stance, the administration has avoided confirming whether the ceasefire will continue indefinitely or whether further military actions remains a possibility in the future. In a separate development, the White House also briefing addressed questions regarding the aviation sector, including reports of the potential bailout package for Spirit Airlines. However, officials did not provide any detail, stating that the matter is currently under review. Overall, the situation reflects a complex and evolving US-Iran standoff, where military confrontations has been paused, but economic warfare and diplomatic uncertainty continue simultaneously. Analysis says that this approach reflects a broader strategy, applying maximum pressures on Iran while keeping the door open for negotiations, but without committing to any fixed timelines or concessions. At this stage, both sides appears to be locked in a waiting game, with Washington increasing economic pressure and Tehran weighing its internal divisions and response strategy. And for now, the world watches closely as this fragile ceasefire continues without a clear end date or roadmap for peace. Stay tuned with us for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe our channel.